Welcome back to the Gridiron Report. I'm Manny Navarro, joined by Herald High School sports writer Andre Fernandez here inside the locker room at Southwest High School. Dre, Southwest has a pretty good football team.
Yeah, it's pretty good football. It's not just volleyball anymore over here. I know they've had the tradition before, but Coach Tim Neal and the guys have been doing a great job here, turning this program around. Made the playoffs last year, district champions. Now, bigger challenge awaits them. Belen Jesuit joining the district, we know, has stirred a lot of commotion amongst these teams. But I think this week with that game, we're going to talk about that later on. They're not just representing themselves and their school. I think they're representing all of this area and how much they want to show that the public schools in this area can compete.
The Sawasera, as they call it down here. And by the way, I love the purple everywhere here in the locker room. I mean, this is like full purple from benches to lockers to everything.
That's always been their pride, man. It's a purple pride, whether it's volleyball or any other sport. And I think football is starting to show a lot of pride in that sense, and it's really giving the school something to cheer about.
All right, well, let's talk about last week's big games. Obviously, you just came back from New Orleans where St. Thomas Aquinas went up there and kicked some booty of John Curtis High School in Louisiana. This defense really impressed me, Dre. From what I saw, Bosa, Moten, both of those guys were just destroying the backfield all day.
Yeah, the key was from the beginning they weren't fooled by that veer option offense that's made John Curtis into the powerhouse that it's been. They basically had maybe one play go 10 yards or more early in the first half, but shutting them down gave St. Thomas enough time to get acclimated. Wade Freebeck in the passing game started to look good from the second quarter on, and that's the kind of way they're going to have to win from here on. I mean, St. Thomas is going to rely on that defense. Defensive coordinator Bill Tierney has come in. He used to be at Don Bosco until a couple years ago. The combination of him and that coaching staff, veteran guys that always have Aquinas prepared, I think, unless Booker T slips up, St. Thomas is going to be right there waiting, hoping for that chance at a national title. I don't see them getting stopped in Class 7A.
Obviously, I saw another great defense. This past week, I went over to watch Miramar and Plantation, and that Patriots defense finally gave up a touchdown for the first time, and not till 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Obviously, that's a huge matchup coming up. I'm going to ask you a little bit about Miramar, though. 303 yards in penalties. They're rotating quarterbacks. From what you've seen and read about them so far, what do you think about their chances this year in 8A?
It's obviously the penalties. You don't like to see that. You like to see a little more stability, although the rotating quarterbacks, I think, is by design until maybe one of them emerges. But the thing I like is that they're getting production out of that offense in spite of the penalties, and that's something that last year hurt them a lot, especially since the fact they were playing good defense against these teams. Now you're seeing the way they're shutting people down. It's a team that I think right now, if you put me on the spot, I'd say that's the team that's going to be in Orlando in Class 8A.
Wow, strong words. We're only a couple weeks in already predicting 8A representative. All right, speaking of a team in 8A that's struggling a little bit, Cypress Bay, they got it handed to them pretty good by University School. You were there for that game, Mark Wandolo's return. What did you see in that game, and do we need to be worried at all? Maybe Cypress Bay doesn't even make the playoffs this year.
We'll see this week, actually. Funny you mentioned that because they're going to play Flanagan, the team that's gunning for them right now, and I think that's going to be the determining game for that second spot in the district. And I say second spot because of Miramar. But they had some guys hurt. They were happy, obviously, to get Coach Wandolo back. I think it was a week where they just ran into a team that was better than they are right now, a lot more talent on that university squad right now. But give them time. I think Cypress Bay will gel a little bit. The only thing I'm concerned about, like I said, I say give them time, but right away it's a must-win this week against Flanagan. They had some key guys out that are going to be back, and I don't think we should panic too much on the Lightning just yet.
All right. Speaking of panic, are they panicking down at Columbus after that 42-7 beatdown they got from Heritage? We're continuing the theme here of teams struggling out of the gate.
Yeah, 42-7 is obviously not pretty. Although if you look closely, they were in the game until right before the second quarter ended, then Heritage separated. But still, it's obviously a cause for concern because they got manhandled in that second half, and it seems almost like, I don't want to say they gave up, but they looked discouraged after falling behind a little bit against a team like Heritage that can dominate you with Sony Michel. But again, the panic mode, similar to Cypress Bay Flanagan, we'll see this week. They got a big game with Coral Gables. That's pretty much going to be potentially the district championship right there. If they lose that game, then they're definitely in trouble. But if they win, I think they can sort things out and go forward.
All right, so we're a couple weeks in now. What team has really surprised you out of the gate? Is there a team out there that you look at and say, man, this team's pretty good?
Well, the team that looked better this year, Jackson looks a lot better, I think, in Class 5A like we thought. They look like they can challenge Booker T a little bit this week, although Booker T's on another level completely. Coral Gables has done pretty well. We mentioned them right now. I think they have a very good chance this week against Columbus. They put things together solid over there. Southwest had a big win. We're right here in their locker room, and they beat Hialeah a couple weeks ago, which some people didn't expect, including myself. And those are teams that I think have a good shot at the playoffs. Disappointments, right now I'd have to say Norland. I mean, they're 0-3. They face some good competition, no doubt, but 0-3 for them, and the schedule's not getting any easier.
All right, that wraps it up for this show.